Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I'm your host, Ed, and I'm your business and tech development expert. Pretty much, I messed that on up, but we're good. I help you with helping. Geez, it is Friday. Can you believe it? This is why it's fun to do lives, because you just never know what's going to happen, and you just keep rolling with it. So let me start that over again. Hello. I am Ed, your business development and tech expert. Yes, I help you show up, deliver, and engage, and basically that helps you get online and have your presence known. So say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I know we have quite a few regulars, and it's Friday, so probably you're trying to head out of the office. You're trying to sneak off into the weekend, so it's all good. A lot of people will watch this in the replay. Hello, Erica. Welcome. Yeah, let's try this again. Coming at you from the Facebook Creator app. Oh, Erica, nice. You're using the Creator app. I like that. It finally worked for you. Good. For those who don't know, Facebook has another app, I know, that's called Facebook Creator. And that app, hey Paula, welcome. That app will actually let you go live on Facebook with some fun things like whoops, I gotta go this way. There you go. And if you need training on that, I have that over at edtalktv.com. But then it also allows you, like Erica has here, it allows you to comment as your page a little bit easier than the Facebook app itself. So there's something fun for you. And Paula's here for our Friday party. What? So today we are going to be talking about privacy again. I know, because yesterday you guys were all about that, and we found some more information. Yep. Not specific to Facebook, but we're gonna broaden our horizons here. We're gonna jump out of the box a little bit and bring it a little bit more full circle here shortly. So we're going to talk about privacy. We're going to talk about tech and privacy because you know, you're probably on Facebook because you're watching me, but that you may not be, because what happens with these videos? I actually repost them on my blog, so those who are not on Facebook can actually still see what's going on and still learn and educate themselves. So you may not be on Facebook, and that's okay. What we're going to talk about, though, will help you with everything because you're definitely going to want to hear this. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you have friends, well, you probably have friends. I'm sure you have friends. You're going to want to share this with them. You're going to want to tag somebody, probably specific, if you know that they're concerned about their privacy and stuff. This is not to scare anyone, and I will put the disclaimer that I am not a, what do I want to say? Like, I'm not a data specialist guru that knows all of the things that are going on with these companies in terms of how our data is being processed and stuff. No, I am just simply bringing you the information that I found. Remember, this is a talk show. It's about business, tech, and the user experience, and we talk about all the conversations that are worth having. So today is a hot mess. We're just going to say that, right? Because everything's just like all over the place. But whatever. We're going to roll with it. You guys know, those who are regulars, and if you're here for the first time, definitely watch some of the previous episodes as well, because we have had some amazing episodes this past week. Wednesdays was fire. Wednesdays was awesome. We had Erica, we had Mickey on live with me, and it was great. I will put this out there. We can try this if you want. This is kind of a pop-up guest if you want. If you are camera ready during this broadcast, during the live broadcast, and you have Skype and I already have your Skype name, we can bring you on live today, and you can join. We can do like a pop-up roundtable discussion about this privacy stuff. So just let me know in the comments. I'll be watching those. If not, no worries. And speaking of guests, if you wanted to become a guest, or maybe you and some friends wanted to be a guest, here's the cool thing. Not now, but later, you can go to edtalktv.com and you can request to be a guest, and then that will let me know that you're interested, and then we can start that conversation. It's free to be a guest. It allows you to share what you know. And now, like you saw on Wednesday's episode, I want to have more guests at once, meaning 3 or 4 of us at the same time so we can have this discussion. Because guess what? We have the technology and it's working with us, so why not? Why not? That's my thing. So anyway, just a quick recap of what we have done yesterday and kind of in previous episodes to lead up to what we're talking about today. When it comes to privacy, we've talked a lot yesterday, especially on Facebook and the data that they're the conspiracy. Well, not conspiracy. Jeez, I told you today is like all kinds of things. I will tell you. You guys tell me in the comments. If this is your first time watching, you better like watch another episode. Just saying. But how many of you feel like today is Saturday? When you woke up today, you were like, "Nope, it's Saturday." It's Saturday. I'll tell you right now, I was debating whether or not we were going to be live today. I thought, it feels like a Saturday. I feel like we should probably just take the day off. But we're here. We're messing up a little bit. It's okay. The reason why I'm not stopping this and the reason why I'm letting you know about this is because it's all part of going live. It's all part of that process, and that's what you need to get more comfortable with. Now you're on the other side watching me, right? And you're probably thinking, "Oh, geez, Ed, face to the head," right? You're like, "This guy," especially if it's your first time watching. You're probably like, "What's so cool about this guy? I mean, he can't even get his lines right." But weekend brain has already set in, right, Erica? It has. So you're probably sitting there thinking like, what is up with this guy? I'm telling you this and I'm keeping this going because it's all part of the process and it helps you get out of that fear of going live and it helps you realize that it's okay. You just keep rolling with it because at some point you're going to hit your mark. You're going to hit that point that you wanted to deliver and that's what's going to be golden. And then later you can go ahead and repurpose that. So there you go. So yesterday we talked about Facebook privacy and the I want to say conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. Jeez. The whole scandal. Thank you. Scandal. There we go. The scandal that's going on with them and how, lots of information is out there on us and all of that stuff. So anyway, you can go watch that episode if you want to know more about that. We also showed you how to find the apps that are attached to your profile and how you can actually remove them or limit how much access they have to your profile, which you should. Actually, I have the blog post. I'm going to put that in the comments for you right now so that you have it for later. And here we go. Boom. So there's that for you. So there was that yesterday. Now, last night, here's what's interesting. We're so timely. I got to say, we're just so timely because that happened. Then we talked about it on the show yesterday. And then last night I was watching the news and they actually covered this whole story around privacy and how our information, not just Facebook, but our information, public information, is all over the place. You guys, it's going to blow you away. And I'm going to put this in after the show. I'm actually going to put this on the blog post because there's just too many links to put here in the comments. There is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 6. I think there's almost like 20. Hey, Whitney, welcome. I think there's almost 20 links here that I'm going to put in the blog post after this. So later you can take a look on the website. But there's like almost 20 links of places that you can go to check your info and then to remove yourself. It's a lot. And it's probably not even all of them, but this is a lot. For those who are in the Bay Area, Erica, you know that we have a news, Channel 7 News, and Michael Finney actually did a story on privacy last night. So it was really cool, very timely to be able to watch this. And so that's why I wanted to make today's show, this episode, about it. We may end early, which is good. It's Friday. We're okay. But I wanted to get through this real quick with you guys. So how many of you have ever been to one of those websites where you just type in your name and boom, like you see your mom, your dad, your old addresses, your high school, your whatever. Like everything is attached to you. You're like, wait, what? How did they get all this info? That's out there, and there are tons of websites, like I just mentioned, that will actually have that. One in particular is called. Let me go back to it because I just had it open. What was the one? Checkmate. InstantCheckmate.com, and that will be in the list. Don't worry. But InstantCheckmate.com. Man, that thing has a lot of warnings when you do a search. It tells you all these warnings, and then it says, you're not going to use this information against the person. It's very interesting how they say it. When you get to finally after like 10 minutes of like trying to download the information, it gets you to this checklist, okay? This checklist, and I'm going to read it to you, is I will not use this information to stalk anyone. Well, chances are, if you're looking up somebody, you're probably trying to be a stalker. Number 2 on the list is, if I see someone I know, I will not use this information for blackmail. Well, if you find information against them and you're being snoopy, I mean, that's now you put it on their radar, so it's really weird. Another one is, I will not harass people whose criminal records appear on this site, because yes, there'll be criminal records that pop up. If I learn someone close to me is a dangerous criminal, I will not confront them. Really? And then the next one, I understand this website includes arrest records, and it does not necessarily mean the person was convicted. So these sites, and that's just one site, you guys, these sites are all out there, and they all have our information. Whether you like it or not, they have our information. Again, at the end of this episode, once it goes onto the blog, I will put these links there so you can look at them and go remove yourself, or at least get familiar with it. But between the Facebook, between this, hey Vicky, welcome. I was here, but I could not comment, so I had to close down. Oh, no worries. So between Facebook and between these websites comes the conversation about technology and our privacy, our data, right? And again, this is just an open conversation. We're just making sure we're aware of things. Now, the reason it's so hot in Facebook land right now is because when something happens, right, we have to blame somebody. There has to be somebody to blame. We can't just blame thin air, right? Even though that's probably where we should put the blame, but we can't. Like, for instance, for Facebook. Okay, information got leaked. Well, I don't even know if leak's the right word. Information of ours got put out the wrong way, shared, whatever you want. Okay, so yes, that's bad for the company, for Facebook. Like, they shouldn't have done that. And yes, we can blame them, but what are we really blaming them for? Because really, we should be blaming them for, obviously, a decision that wasn't so good on their part. Maybe that's the only blame that we can put over there. But what about us? Like, we have to put the blame on us at some point, because you have to remember, we're the ones who are supplying the information. We're the ones who said yes to these apps to give them access to our profiles. Now, then you can say, okay, Ed, that makes sense. I mean, I don't really want to blame myself because, I mean, it's never my fault. But I can see that. But then what about Facebook still has the blame because they shouldn't have done it. That's correct. But then you also have to think, okay, then the blame has to go back on somebody about those policies that maybe weren't user friendly to read, right? Because, I mean, who wants to sit there and read a privacy policy? Not me, right? But then that falls on me because I didn't read before I accepted. And a lot of the times we do feel, I don't know, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of the times we feel that we don't have to read those policies. Whether or not we understand them, it doesn't matter. We just don't want to read them because we already know that everyone's using it. Like if we sign up on Facebook and we allow access to Facebook Messenger, which if you remember when Facebook Messenger first came out, I didn't even actually put it on my phone either, because when it first came out, everyone's concern was their privacy, that it was going to always be listening, that it was, I forget what other things came out for it. And some people still don't have Messenger on their phones. Some people still don't have Messenger on their phones. And that's fine. Hey, Mickey, welcome. And so when it comes to, our privacy and what we're using, you have to think, okay, that's your choice not to add that to your phone. In some cases we get forced to because, Facebook removed some things and so they kind of force you to do it. But again, it's your choice to take part in that platform and to be there. So again, we have to remember that who really has our back, who is where we have to start with. And that kind of made no sense. But Mickey, by the way, we're kind of like all over the place today because it's Friday and it's whatever. But when it comes to the privacy and tech, we have to really understand that the blame can't only just be on that company, whether it's Facebook, Amazon, Google, whoever. We're going to talk about those other ones in a second. Hey, Whitney. So you have to remember that when it comes to tech and our privacy, it goes back a long, long time, you guys. Way before us, for the most part. Our data has always been collected and has always been, moved around for business purposes. We just see it now more. We just hear about it more. Are my comments coming up? Yes, Teresa, I see it. And so when it comes to the tech world and where we're at now and where we're going, tech provides convenience, right? Isn't that what we want? We want that one-click shopping experience. We want that no waiting in line. We want that tap to pay or walk and it pays. We want all of these conveniences. We want our phone to know what we're doing before we even have to ask it, right? We want to be able to just show up and boom, our grocery cart is full or they're delivered or whatever it may be, right? But while that's a convenience, we have to remember that there's a trade-off. These are always listening because they have Siri or they have, I'm just making sure she doesn't come on, or they have Google or whatever your digital assistant is. Like the TVs are listening, all these things are listening because we want that convenience. So then who do we blame when something goes wrong? Well, of course we're going to blame the other party, the device, the company, or whatever, but we have to remember that it started with us allowing that to be on and that we have that choice. So again, we talked about this earlier. You have your convenience level where you are paying to have something quicker, faster, all of that here. And then you also have the trading for time. So you're either trading for money or trading for time. One of those two things. And so it comes down to that with tech and privacy. You're either going to, in some cases, because I know some programs will hold you back, they'll force you to say yes to it if you want to use the program. So you still have a no, but it's kind of like, well, if you want to use this, you have to say yes. But we have to realize that the more and more that we use technology, the more that we have these awesome personal experiences online, the only way we're going to get those personalized experiences is if they collect our data. And if they use that, not only for us, but of course they're going to see how they can compare that with others. It's kind of like I'm just making this connection, so we'll see where it goes. It's kind of like, let's say, a dating profile, right? An online dating system. You're trying to match people up with common interests and things. So you're supplying, the user, is supplying the company your information, your data, and of course they have their policies, and their trust is supposed to be that they only use it for that purpose. Again, if something happens, then you can blame the company for that part of it, but remember, we're providing the info. And so from there, they figure out what works and what doesn't. And so, as I mentioned, Amazon, Google, Facebook, and Apple, which are basically our 4 biggest companies, right? I mean, those are the 4 biggest companies that we interact with a lot. Even if you're a PC person, chances are you're still on Amazon or you're going to Google. So you have to think about these. Yep, the data is crucial in improving the user experience, right, Mickey? Exactly. So think about this, you guys. This is the stuff that kind of blows my mind, because I just finished reading this guy, The Four, and it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive when you go through and read this. It's all about the hidden DNA of Amazon, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. It's all about those 4 companies, and it's really a great insider perspective of this, and Scott is the author, did a great job on it. What we're going to talk about here is a quick glimpse on those. Okay, so when it comes to privacy and data, chances are you have asked a question on Google that you probably have never asked anybody. How many of you can say yes to that, even if you're watching the replay? How many of you can say, yes, I have Googled a question that there's no way I would ever ask anybody? I just went straight up to Google and typed in the craziest, most intimate, most wacky question ever, just to see what it would pop up. But I wouldn't tell my parents. I wouldn't share that with my brother, with my sister. I wouldn't even ask my girlfriend or my buddy or whatever, right? Exactly. Erica, those look like martini glasses, and it sounds like you are toasting already, so well done. I'm going to have some water. So think about how you use Google and how you've used Google. Like, this is all like before Facebook, we'll even say before social media. We've used Google forever. Google sees everything and is the place we ask the most intimate questions, the craziest things that we would never ask anybody else. About gas for a friend, right, Mickey? And so your Google searches, and think about, and this is how it's developed over time. When you search for something, even just one little thing that you search for a friend, you might have searched some really crazy things. I'm going to go off of Mickey's thing for gas. We'll say Gas X. Maybe you have searched for some, intimate things, whatever, just as jokes or whatever. And then the next thing you know, those ads are popping up all over the web wherever you go. And you're like, dang, Google, I was just trying to look for a friend. It was only a friend. My friend wanted it. I got something in my eye. Just kidding. So it's the most annoying thing. It drives us crazy, right? And then it starts showing up in our news feed. And then it's like, oh, geez. Like, how many of you guys are now more protective of looking at your news feed and not, like, sharing it with anybody around you? You're kind of like, nope, hey, nope, I got this. I'll look it up. No, it's okay. Because we don't want people to see, right? We don't know what's going to pop up, and then they're going to judge us based off of that. It's like, stop putting me on blast, Google. Exactly, Mickey. We're like hooked now. Literally, we get hooked into these things. So Google is, and Google's so simple. It's so simple. When we talk about user experience, we saw Google's website. You have one bar if you ever go to google.com. Now it's easy because you can just type it in the address bar. But if you ever go to google.com, it's just literally that bar, and you just type in whatever you want. That's it. And then from there, everything explodes. Everything comes to you, which is why when things happen, really bad things, and the police have to get involved, what's the first thing that they're going to start going for? The computer. Where's the first place they're going to go? Look, the search history. Why? Because there's all that data off of you. What have you been searching? What's your activity like? Like it's all there. And it's all, fairly accessible, especially in that situation. So you have Google. Then enters Facebook, which is our social, right? Facebook connects specific activities to a lot of specific identities. So we use Facebook to basically have our lives played out, right? We want to share our moments, and we go to these events, we tag our friends, and we make these connections that then Facebook can take that information and start figuring out like what it wants to do with their platform, how it can connect people more, right? And so that's kind of how they're using theirs. Police, Mickey, you're hilarious. Police be like, let me see your Googler. That could be taken so wrong. Amazon. Amazon is the other big one. If you think about Amazon, Amazon knows what you like. It connects identity, shopping patterns, and behaviors. So smart, right? Amazon's kind of like the Google. But maybe you could say it's better because we're no longer just searching. We're also buying. We're taking action. And then they can see that behavior. And then they can see how much it happens over time. Hence the little weird click buttons that they have, which I don't really know. I don't know. Do any of you guys have those? I don't even know what they call them. Let me see if I can pull it up. But it's one of those weird click buttons that, you order so much of the same thing all the time that you can get these buttons that you just tap on. Dash button. So obviously you can tell my main purchases. I won't be ashamed to share this one. But you can see Nylabone and Doggy Dailies. What can I say? I live an exciting life, you guys. Those dash buttons for the dogs, boop, need to get those. But they're probably not even real buttons, I guess. I don't know. You can learn more about them in your Amazon app. But anyway, you have those things so then that way you can have that convenience there. And then they see that you're buying those over and over. And then, boop, let's drop in, doggy daycare receipts. Well, not receipts, but doggy daycare coupons. Let's throw in leashes. And then it just keeps going, right? And then you're recommended to other products and services and things like that. But if you leave something in your cart, they stalk you forever. Yeah, that's true, Mickey. They do. So you got the Google, the Facebook, the Amazon. Now, Apple. This one's an interesting one because it's similar to the other ones. They attach purchase data to identity. So they know, just like any other store, that when you buy something and you're a repeat customer, they can tell exactly who you are, basically, based off of your purchases. You guys know, I have an iPhone, I have a Mac laptop, and from just those two, you can probably assume that then I have Apple TV, I have iTunes, I have XYZ, right? And the list just goes on. So you have to think that all of this data is what we are supplying to the companies to be able to figure out what's next. Also, as I was talking to some of you guys about this earlier, we also got to remember that we take this down to even just our business level. Let's just that's all kind of high ticket, high up there corporates, and let's bring it down to just, entrepreneur, running my own one man, one woman show. Maybe I have a team, maybe I don't. Let's just bring it down to us and the consumer, our clients, our customers, our future clients, our future customers. Let's bring it down to that level too. When we are creating profiles. And I say profiles because I mean you're creating a login for your web hosting company. You're creating a login for your library card. I don't know. You're creating a login for your bank account. You're creating a login for your phone bill. Whatever it is, chances are you have to create a login. So who's responsible for that login? Or who should be responsible for that login? You. You should be responsible. The person creating it or who needs to create it. Let me just back that up a little bit. The person who needs it to be created should be responsible. You need to be your own gatekeeper. You guys, I've told you already before, get 1Password. Literally 1Password. I'm going to type it in the comments for you because you're going to need this later. And I want you to come back and tell us how it's changed your life. 1Password app. I don't care if you're Android, your iPhone, doesn't matter. Get 1Password. Please, please, please make your life and my life easier and everyone else who's going to be around you. Because here is the thing. If you do not hold the keys to your kingdom, who does? Who's responsible for it? Tammy, the temp? No. She might have created it for you because you gave her that task. She's not responsible for it, though. And she's out in a week. She's only here temporary. It's not her job. How about your husband or your wife? No. Like, they could know about it. Maybe they set it up for you because you didn't want to deal with the tech part. But guess what? It's your responsibility to be in charge of your account, to have your login, and to know it. It's just that simple. You have got it. You just got it this week. Just got it this week. Nice. Nice, Whitney. I'm so proud of you. It's going to change your life. I forgot my one. Erica! Erica! You're killing me. If you got an iPhone, it uses your finger. Just don't turn off your phone. So, you guys, I can only help you so much. I can only help you so much. Mickey uses TrueKey to hold my passwords. I have had 3 I use in rotation. Good. Is that a good tool? Actually, Mickey, I've never heard of TrueKey, but I will tell you, if it's working for you, then if it's not broke, don't fix it. I will say for those who are kind of curious and thinking like, oh, should I go here? Should I go this one or that one? Just do your research. See what they are. Some of the most popular ones are 1Password, which I've had for probably 8+ years. So I can only vouch for them that they've been the best and I don't need anything else. Dashlane is another one. And I feel like there was one more. There's several, but those are like the main ones that I've heard of and have looked into. And Erica, you're not alone. Whitney did the same thing. So get 1Password, because here's the thing, and you guys, I've run into this working for myself, and I've run into this working at a 9-to-5. I would have customers come in and not know their passwords, which it happens to us all. I do it all the time, but guess what? I can go into 1Password and I see it, and I'm good. You have to remember that you actually have to put it in 1Password, which is why you want to do it right after you actually create the account, where everything's still fresh in your mind. But what will happen is people will come in and say, oh, I don't know, my assistant handles that. Well, is your assistant going to be coming anytime soon? Is your assistant going to be with you 24/7? Is your assistant going to be with you until the end? Chances are no. I don't care how good they are. It's not your assistant's job to know and be responsible for your logins. That may be the task that you gave them, but ultimately it's still your job. What happens if something happens to them? You're by yourself. You don't know what to do. You can't access your account. What happens if they decide, I don't really like you, and I don't care what this does to my career, I'm going to go ahead and, post on your Facebook for you and then change your password. Like, don't give people that access. Don't be vulnerable like that, because there's too many other things that we're vulnerable for and that we have to be vulnerable for. So when it comes down to that, make sure that even if you have to have somebody create your account for you, make sure that at the end of the day, you know your login, which is the username, the password, and the website to log in at. That's it. And make sure that, of course, the account notifications are going to you, your email, your phone number, all of that stuff. Because I can't tell you, especially when it comes to, building websites and stuff. I don't do this, but in a lot of cases, people will say, oh no, I'll just have the web designer just go ahead and do that. And they'll put in their name and they'll be the one in charge, but yet the client's card is on file. And then what happens when they no longer have access to that designer? Yeah, it's a pain, which is why I don't do that. When I build websites for people, I make sure that they have their web hosting all set up and that they provide me the login so that then I can go in and do my job. And then when I'm done, here you go. It's all set for you. And here is all the information you need to know. And they already had their login, their gatekeeper. They are their gatekeeper. So that's stuff that you need to remember and really pay attention to, whether it's little things like creating a login for your Netflix to creating things for business and beyond. You have to put the responsibility back on you. Even though you don't want to, you still have to, because at the end of the day, that it's us. We're the ones in charge of what we're doing and where we're doing it. And so we have to remember that. Let me just look at the comments real quick. I use a variation of passwords, so I have capital letters, numbers. Yeah, a lot of places will require uppercase, lowercase, and a number in there. I put the wrong one in once. Yep, I know. You guys, even me being a techie, even me with my tools, I still can run into that. So it's not just you. We all do it. We all do it. It's okay. But having tools like 1Password can help us not run into it as much. And if we do have to run into it, hopefully we've put it in prior so that we literally can just be like, oh, I have an app for that. Let me go to it. I can get it. No problem. I'm good. That type of stuff. Because, putting it in as a fake contact, it's okay, but it's not really that secure. And where's your contacts? I know I'm freaking you guys out right now, but okay, I'm trying not to on a Friday, but check this out. Okay, if you put a fake contact, because I know right? Tell me that you don't have a fake Auntie Am. I don't even know. It's a weird name. Well, if you have a name like that, it's not weird. It's just weird for me to have said that. Auntie Am is got a fake account in your address book. And then that's where you have your social security number. That's where you have your login for Facebook, which is the rest of your world. And that's where you have your bank account number. Well, one, that's a lot of big information all in one contact. But two, where's your contacts going? Can you guess? Chances are they're not just on your phone. They're being synced, which means they're being linked elsewhere. Whether it's iCloud, whether it's Android Cloud, whether it's Google, whatever. Your contacts most likely are not just on your phone anymore. They're at least in one other place, if not more. And you probably don't even know it. And how many apps will say we have to access your contacts? Right? Yeah. So that's why it's important to get a protected app to start summing all this information up and popping it in there. You guys, 1Password, you can put private notes in there. They have so many other things in there. I'll be honest with you, I've had them for over 8 years. I literally do probably 2% of what it's capable of doing. I do login, I do notes, and I do credit cards. That's it. There's a long, long list of things that you can do in there. I just do very basic. I never would have thought to create a fake AndyM account. Well, there you go, Mickey. Now you thought about it, but don't do it, because remember, your contacts are going to be synced, because I know you are using an iPhone. But even if you're not using an iPhone, you guys, your contacts are still getting into other places. It's still being put out there. I don't like that because certain apps won't access your contact list. Yeah, exactly, Whitney. Those apps will access your contact list all the time, and I don't know what those apps are looking at. I just know I gave them access to my contacts, but what access? Is it just for them to pull up my list, or are they really searching the entire profile of my contacts? So you have to understand that's where we're at, and it's only going to get, I don't want to say worse, but worse. I don't know a better word for that part, because the more we want to have specialized, personalized XYZ, and the more that we sign up for things, the more all of this piles up, and we have to be protective of it, and we have to understand that, and we have to also realize that it's not just our data. It's the data that we hold for others, which is again why I'm saying, you have to watch where you're sharing your information, because if your fake contact is in your address book, and I got a hold of your contacts through your phone because I'm your assistant, or through an app because I was the app developer, whatever, well, now I have all that information as well. Not just yours, but I have theirs. So, again, when you're giving out your information, just be aware of what info you're giving out to others. Make note, if you have to somewhere, have a master list where you can go back and say, okay, I gave, Mickey access to my Facebook account. I gave, Erica access to my Netflix account. Like, make sure you make that list, because if you have to part ways for some reason, then you can go in and say, oh, I don't talk to that person anymore. I need to go ahead and change my password because they're still accessing my account. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I know it's a Friday, so we're just rolling with the punches today. Trying to think of what else I wanted to mention. I think that was really it. Is just being responsible we just have to be responsible for our online information as much as possible. Like I said, these links that I'm going to post in the blog post after this, the links that I'll share in there, you can explore them, and of course share any feedback. I haven't gone through all of them. I literally went through one. But these types of websites, there's some manual work that we have to go in and do ourselves, because maybe you're like a total hermit crab, and you're like, dude, Ed, I only show up and watch your episodes, and that's it. Like, I don't bank online. I don't do credit cards. I don't do social media. I don't have any online accounts. Like, that's it. I don't have anything. I still have a landline, and I still have cash in my pocket. That's fine, but some of these websites still have information on you because of public records. And, I'll post the article from the newscast too, because those of you who aren't local, which is a lot of you, would still be interested in reading that article / I think they have a video from last night's clip, because the Michael Finney, who was the news anchor guy, he interviewed, the company and was like, well, why is it okay to have this information out there? Like, why are you doing this? And some of their responses were really interesting, because I don't even remember, but like something about like, how it has to be public knowledge, and we're just trying to help educate people for XYZ. And yeah, it was a stretch. It was really a stretch. And it was like, okay, it's a stretch. That's all I'm going to say. It's a stretch. I have just reduced my Facebook apps from 161 to 20. I will say, Vicky, I need to go in and still do mine. I haven't I did a couple last night, and then I got tired, and I was like, I'm done. It's been a long week. So anyway, there's that. We're going to end early today because it's Friday, and why not? So I'm going to go ahead and post that on the blog in probably about, we'll say 20 minutes or so. It will be up there with those links in that article. Those of you who enjoyed this episode but have enjoyed other episodes and want more of me and the community, take a look at the new Hey Ed membership. I'll drop that link in the comments here. It's awesome. We have a good group in there right now, and that's just a monthly subscription that allows you to have more ed, more of our community, and being able to get answers to your questions quicker. It's a good starting place. It's kind of like your Hey Siri and your Hey Google and Hey Alexa. It's kind of like that. I have to be careful because she'll come on here. So take a look at that. Share that with a friend if you have friends that are in need of support for their business and tech, because that's what we're going to be talking about in there all the time. And those who are in there, I did just drop a training, just a quick video tutorial for you guys on how to edit in iMovie, how I kind of do some of my edits. So that's new on the blog over there for you guys. So have a fantastic weekend. I hope you guys all had a great week, and we'll see you back here on Monday for Ed Talk TV. Take care, guys.